Welcome to Lindivana. I'm Gabby, this is Sam, and together with our Sprinter van, we invite you along on our van life adventures. If this is your first time here, thanks for joining us, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video.
We began our adventure up to Scotland with one night in the Lake District, about halfway at our favourite spot, Kirkstone Pass. The next morning we had to head to a petrol station. I had to get under the van and fix a perished fuel line from the diesel heater, and then we made our way up to Scotland.
We're in Scotland!
Once we got to Scotland, we headed straight to Loch Lomond, had some lunch, chilled out, took some photos, and then we made our way towards the Highlands for our first night at Fort William in the beautiful nature.
Well, maybe that wasn't the best nature spot we found, but as we were getting further up north, the landscapes and the colours were just absolutely gorgeous. We're so lucky to be here this time of the year. The palette was just yellow, orange, red, brown and green. It was beautiful. But before we got to the Isle of Skye, we wanted to stop at one very special place.
We thoroughly enjoyed our time at the wee Harry Potter Bridge. We didn't see any wizards, but we did fly our drone. We got permission from Alistair, the local estate keeper, who looks after this area all around Glenfinnan Viaduct. When flying the drone, Alistair just requested that we don't film his house and that we make sure we keep 50 metres away from people, which is what we did. Once we finished at the viaduct, we jumped back in the van, had a cup of tea, and made our way towards the Isle of Skye. And we had one or two pleasant distractions along the way.
Munch, munch, munch. Look at those horns.
We were driving for a couple of hours, and then Gabby suddenly realised something.
So, I went and asked if we can take a ferry today, and they said unfortunately it's fully booked. The next ferry would be tomorrow morning at 8:40, and it would cost $15.95.
So, unfortunately, we drove all the way from Glenfinnan Viaduct all the way to Mallaig, I believe that's how you pronounce this place. I was just following Google Maps blindly. I should have checked, but I didn't turn on avoid ferries on Google Maps, so it's brought us here.
Whoops.
So we're going to do a U-turn, drive all the way back to Fort William, and to be honest, it's beautiful weather. There's worse places to get lost.
definitely, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, just a little cock up, but you know, it's part of the adventure, so no biggie. We'll make it to Skye tomorrow.
So we've just done a mammoth drive back from Malagay, somewhere, back towards Fort William, and now we're going to turn left and head up towards Skye again on the road and go over the bridge. But we thought we'd stop here for a spot of lunch and to look at the beautiful Neptune staircase.
It was really nice to revisit the locks again. We have been here before last year, but unfortunately Sam got ill and we didn't make it to the Isle of Skye, so Fort William was our last stop in the Highlands. We were really impressed by the engineering of the locks that connected one side of Scotland to the other, giving boat access from Inverness to Fort William before the railway came into place. The lock system was designed and engineered by famous engineer Thomas Telford in the 1800s. After lunch, we were back on the road to the Isle of Skye. We were driving along the lake called Loch Loyne, and at the bottom of this lake we spotted a dam, so we decided to pull over quickly and just go and have a look what it looked like.
We've just arrived at Eilean Donan Castle, I believe it is. We were meant to get to Skye like 3 days ago, but it's because of all the beautiful spots all the way along the way, it's taken us so much longer to get to here. We took a walk over the bridge towards the castle, but didn't go inside. There was a wedding happening inside, and we were fortunate enough to hear the sounds of the bagpipes being played at the ceremony within the castle. This is the first time that either of us have ever heard bagpipes, so that was quite a treat. Once we walked around the perimeter of the castle, we headed back towards the van. When we finished at the castle, we were determined not to be distracted by anything else on our way to the Isle of Skye. But since the sun was going down, and since we were about 2 hours away from the Isle of Skye, we thought we'd best find somewhere to sleep for the night. We found this gorgeous spot in the Highlands. I have no idea where it was, apart from it was somewhere between Eilean Donan Castle and the Isle of Skye. All throughout the Highlands, there's many parking bays, very deep, comfortable parking bays that are safe to park in and sleep in for the night. We didn't have any troubles camping exactly where we wanted, and we always made sure that we left the places cleaner than when we found them. Scottish Highlands really is a treat for the eyes, and we're enjoying every second of our journey. Thanks a bunch for joining us in this video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, and join us next week when I almost chop off Gabby's head with the drone, we drive over some beautiful bridges, and we explore what the Isle of Skye has to offer. Until next week, over and out.